Yeah. Yeah. Good evening, all. So myself, I'm Vijay. Like I hold nearly 20 plus years of experience, which includes nearly 8 plus years of experience in Python environment. So my experience includes design, development, and implementation of Python and Django-based applications. Well versed in implementing different Python libraries like NumPy, Pandas, PyTables, Matplotlib, right? So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether my screen is visible to all?
Yeah, it's clear, sir, and it's
Fine, thank you. So as part of today's demo, I'll be covering the following things, right? So if you've got any queries, you can ask me at the end of the session. You'll be given time for your general queries, right? Okay. So why Python? Already we have got many programming languages, why again Python required? And that too, Python is not a kind of technology which is very recently introduced. It was introduced almost 30 years ago, right? In the year 1989, Python was introduced. But why all of a sudden Python has got great boom? Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? And who can learn Python? What are the prerequisites for learning Python, right? There is no prerequisites for learning Python. Anyone can update with Python. Python statements look like normal English statements. They are not as complex as other programming languages. So I'll just brief you. I'll just compare the coding of Python with other programming languages, right, in the tomorrow session. So you can just check how simple the Python statements as compared with other programmings, lengthwise, complexity-wise, programming-wise, right? Yes. And check. And how Python was built, how it was built and how it was derived by taking the advantages from different other programming languages. It has taken some features or advantages from one programming and some other features or advantages from other programming from multiple programming languages. Python has taken the features because of which we call Python as a hybrid language. I'll brief you about all these things, right? But and Python real-time applications, what kind of applications are we developing today by using Python? Python mostly used for developing what kind of applications? One by one, I'll be showing you, right, where exactly Python is used. Python usage, which companies are using Python, and topmost applications built using Python, and Python comparison with other programming, right? And reasons why it is suddenly super popular. Because if you go back like 10 to 15 years, nobody knows that there was a programming language like a Python, especially from the last 5, 6 years, right? See, like many applications are getting developed using Python, and even most of the high-end technologies are using Python for implementation, right? For implementation, different domains, right? Like data science, totally implementation going in Python, like machine learning, deep learning, and big data analytics, right? Like Spark with Python, PySpark, and writing automation scripts in AWS, DevOps in robotics, IoT, right? And even web applications creations using Python. So today, like Python is mostly used, widely used, right? For creating different types of applications. I'll just brief you about all one by one applications. And also before you go, right, you need to also know what is the job market of Python currently and what is the scope of Python in the coming years. So Python, right, from the last 30 years, it was in the market and it will be in the market for in the coming years, right? So it's widely used today and it is the #1 ranked programming language, right? With a diversified number of applications creations. At the end of the session, I'll be showing you the percentage of usage of different programming languages in the market. Yes. So this is what I'll be discussing in today's and tomorrow's session, right? This all what all these things will be discussed in, will be briefed in detail in today's and tomorrow's session, right? Yes. So starting with why Python. So I define Python in 5 lines. I'll just brief you one by one. So it's a general purpose programming, multi-programming features it has got. It's a high-level language. It's an interpreted language and user-friendly programming, which provides simple syntaxes, which looks like normal English statements. Okay. So what do you mean by general purpose programming? So before Python, there were some programming languages. If you heard about the names like Pascal, Fortran, COBOL. So we have got some programming languages like Pascal, Fortran, COBOL. These programming languages are purpose-based languages. These are used for a specific purpose, not for all the purposes. Like Pascal used for complicated mathematical applications, Fortran for scientific applications, COBOL for business applications. Means each one is used for one particular purpose, not for all the purposes. But a language which is suitable for developing any kind of application, such a language we call it as general purpose programming. So a language which is suitable for developing any kind of application, such a language we call it as general purpose programming. Python is a general purpose programming, means it's not for a particular purpose. Any kind of applications we can develop today, like web applications, animations, graphical applications, data science applications, big data applications, gaming applications, networking applications, embedded applications, desktop applications, wide varieties of applications can be created. That's why we call it as general purpose. It's not purpose based. Multi-programming features. Just I'll give a labor example. If you want to launch a new mobile phone into the market, means if you are launching a new product into the market, right? To attract the customers, if you embed all the features of different other mobiles, right? And into a single one, right? It's going to attract the customers. Same way, Python is a kind of programming which has got the features of all the different other programming languages, right? That's the reason we call Python as a hybrid language, because of this multi-programming features. And high-level language. Okay, just I'll brief you about this. There are two types of languages. Yes, two types of languages. Mainly like low-level languages. We have got low-level languages, right? Low-level languages like assembly level language or machine level language, right? Assembly level or machine level language. These are, first thing, not human understandable. They are not human understandable. They are not human understandable. The whatever the program code, right? It's not understandable. The second thing is they are not portable. They cannot be carried from one system to other system. They are not portable, right? Yes. They cannot be carried from one system to other, and machine dependent. They cannot run on all the hardwares and all the operating system. Machine dependent. They cannot run on all the operating systems on all the machines. So low level languages and high level languages. Python is a high level language. Example, high level Python. So Python is easily understandable, looks like normal English statements, can be carried from one system to other, right? It's portable and machine independent, can run on all the hardwares and all the operating system. Human understandable, portable, and machine independent, can run on all the hardwares and all the operating system, right? Yes. Yeah. So Python is a high level language and the interpretation language. Interpretation means line by line execution we are going to observe here in Python, right? See, we have got the compilation languages and interpretation languages. Compilation and interpretation. Compilation, example of compilation, C language. Interpretation, example like Python. So here, if you have got some lines of code, 10 lines of code, assume you have got 10 lines of code. All these 10 lines executes at once. But in Python, right, if you have got some lines of code, statement by statement, it takes statement by statement, it executes, right? Which makes debugging easy, right? Yes. Okay, fine. Interpretation, user-friendly programming or programmer-friendly programming language, which provides simple syntaxes, which look like normal English statement, right? Yeah. So Python has got what programming features? Python has got what programming? So Python is general purpose programming, multi-programming features, hybrid features it has got. It's a high-level language, interpretation language, user-friendly programming. And what programming features Python has got? Yes, Python has got. I'm sorry, Python has got, right? Procedural oriented, right? Procedural oriented has got procedural oriented programming, like example, C language. Object oriented programming, object oriented programming, right? Example, C++, Java. It has got the features of scripting language features, right? Scripting. Example like shell script, Linux shell script. Yes, it has got the features of, right? It has got the features of modular programming, modular programming like example, modular 3. Yes. It has got procedural-oriented programming like C language, object-oriented programming like C++, Java, scripting like shell script, and modular programming like modular 3. Yes. So if you talk about this Java, right? Yeah, Python and Java are the two major programming languages used for enterprise applications creations. But Java programmers or developers are strictly restricted to use only object-oriented programming. Without object-oriented programming, there is no Java application or program. But in Python, with object-oriented, without object-oriented, with procedural-oriented, with modular programming, we can create different varieties of applications. And if you see, like, if you go back to the year 2010, in the year 2010, right, Java mostly used, to go back like 10 to 12, 10 to 14 years, right? Like Java, like 43% used in the industry. In the year 2010, right, Python. Nobody knows that was a programming language, Python. Only 3% use, very less usage of Python. But if come 10 years later, from 2020, right, the usage of Java has decreased. And even if you see the talk of the industry, right? Yes, the talk of the industry. Yes. Yes, Java, 19%. If you see 10 years later, the usage of Java has decreased, the usage of Python has increased. Year by year, the usage of Python is increasing. Just at the end of the session, I'll be showing you some graphs, right? The usage of different programming languages in the current industry, right? And if you see the talk of the industry, like that machine learning, that is data science, which doesn't use Java, like total implementation goes in Python, where Python providing different modules for this plotting, visualization, data analysis, right? Yes. And if you see the scripting, right? Python is one of the best scripting language with vast varieties of libraries, right? Even uh, in DevOps environment, in IoT, in robotics, right? We write scripts, Python scripts. Yes, Jay Krishna, right? So as part of the course, I'll be discussing procedural-oriented programming in brief, object-oriented programming in using Python. So I said there is no prerequisites, right, to learn Python. As part of the course, you you'll be learning procedural-oriented programming with Python, object-oriented programming with Python, with all its features, abstractions, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, all these features we'll be discussing in brief. Means object-oriented main features are those, right? Without that, we cannot write code with object-oriented programming with Python. So everything will be discussed in brief, and procedural-oriented and scripting and modular programming. This modular programming you cannot see in other programming languages, right? So Python providing nearly 89,000. Python has got a great boom today because of this modular programming concept. Nearly 89,300 inbuilt modules Python is providing for various domains. 89,300, right? 89,300 inbuilt modules Python is providing for different domains, right? So whatever domain you are from, Python has got a module. So if you're from networking or testing or big data or data science, any background, right? Python has got modules, not only for computer applications, for electronics, civil, for all this, right? Thousands of modules Python is providing, right? For every environment. If I discuss modules, it has got many built-in functions. We don't need to write huge codings here. By using these functions, directly we can perform. Like if you want to perform standard deviation, like we need to perform a lot of operation, right? But here you have got a standard deviation within function which computes standard deviation. And any other, for example, a small example, right? There is a module called math module. Import it. Import math. Okay. I want to find square root. Within the math module, there is a function called square root of which number? 16. Directly it provides the output. That's it. Any module, it has got functions. Based on that, using that functions, you can perform the operations directly. No need to write that. Yeah, Sunil Kumar Devang, right? Yes. The session will be at 9 p.m. only. There won't be any change in that timing, right? Runs at the same time. Okay, fine. Modules. Discussing about the modules, right? Yes. For data science, right? If we talk about this data science, Python supporting separate modules for data science, nearly 10 to 15 modules it is providing for data science environment, separate modules for it. Yes. Like NumPy, CP, Pandas, PyTables, right? Scikit-learn, right? Using this, we can perform data analysis, visualizations. Yes. Shalini Singh, yes. Just I'll be giving time for you at the end of the session for the general queries. Right. Even for big data, right? For big data, we have got separate modules Python is providing, even like PySpark. Even for networking. For networking, not only separate modules Python is providing, separate framework itself. Python is providing like twisted Python, right? Yes. And even for testing or test cases. Yes. And for operating system kinds of activities, the name of the module itself is OS, operating system, right? OS module, which has got a different means you want for creating a directory, listing out what is present within a directory, renaming a directory for all those kinds of operations. And for every database, Python is providing a module. If you want Python to be connected with Oracle, a separate module like CX underscore Oracle module. For MySQL, right? MySQL to connect with the, so Python to connect with MySQL, you require a module like PyMySQL, right? And apart from that, even for SQL Server, for every database, it is providing a module using which you can easily connect with it. It's not like other programming language like Java. It's not as complex as other programming. Here it's very simple. Just 1 minute discussion is enough for connecting with any database by using that modules. And for just writing Python code, creating Excel workbook, Excel files, any types of files. Writing a Python code and executing it, go and check in that location, and workbook is created, Excel file is created, all right? I can insert data into that Excel file by writing code. Create the sheets by writing Python code only. I can create sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. Can read data from one sheet. I can write data to another sheet by writing Python code only, right? Even to databases also by writing code and executing the Python code. Go and check in the database, table will be created. Writing Python code only, check it, will data insertion. I want to remove a table by writing Python code and executing. Go and check, the table will be deleted. Renaming or deleting or performing any transaction management, everything by writing Python code will be reflected in the database. And any types of files like Excel files, PDF files, writing Python code, we can create a PDF file, we can write data, we can read data from it. CSV files, comma separated values files, JSON files, XML files, any types of files we can create by using Python. We have got separate modules for this. And even for mathematical operations, we have got math module, just now I said, right? And even for statistical operations, right? We have got many modules available. And for generating graphs, any types of graphs you can generate, right? Normal graph, bar graph, histogram, scatter plot, stack plot, pie graph. Just within 3-4 lines, we can generate graphs. Just I'll brief you, right? In the tomorrow session, I'll be showing you some sample codings, even like how to generate, how simple, with zero programming knowledge, you can understand how to create a graphs. And see, tomorrow I'll show you that coding part. Sample examples I show you to show that the coding of Python, how it looks. And before you update with any technology, you need to have, right, that knowledge. Python mostly used for developing what kind of applications? Python real-time application. So these are some of those, right, modules. In this way, thousands of modules are available. 89,300 inbuilt modules Python has got. These are some of the examples. And what kind of applications we can develop today by Python, right? Python real-time applications. Python mostly used in developing what kind of applications? Web applications. A lot of web applications are getting developed today by using Python. You may ask a query like Java, .NET, all these are mostly used, right, from last 20-25 years for creating web applications. Why again Python? Python has got a framework like Django framework, right? At a rapid speed, it can develop a web application, right? It has got its own database like SQLite3. It has got its local database. And also it can connect with any other database like MySQL, Oracle, Postgres, all this, right? So at a rapid speed, you can develop application that too with very less coding. Very less coding means all the .py files will be created automatically. We no need to create, and also the coding of the coding will be available. Just we need to make the changes wherever required, right? And even if you see 100 lines of Java code, 100 lines of Java code, right? I can write approximately within 20 lines in Python. Approximately I can write in 20 lines in Python, right? It's like 20 lines of Java code. I can write within 3 to 4 lines in Python. Very less code you see in Python. And for automation applications today, Python is mostly preferred. Python is one of the best language for automation applications using technologies like data science, using technologies like IoT, using like DevOps. So if you take IoT, right, the physical network or device embedded with software, sensors, electronics for exchanging data, for controlling the data, right, from the place where you are, right? IoT, like electronic devices connecting and communicating with each other, right? So 90% of the coding in Python, right, in IoT. And even if you talk about data science, everything will data, right? The data has got experience, data has got future reference. Using data or data science, we perform data analysis, data predictions, data classifications, data clustering, data recommendations. The blend of technique, right? Data science, it's a blend of technique. The main technique, what we see here in data science. ML, machine learning, right? Machine learning has got many techniques, regression, classification, clustering, pattern matching. For all these techniques to implement, we require a language. So Python is the mostly chosen or mostly used programming for this machine learning, deep learning, where it has got many modules for plottings, visualizations, data analysis, right? Even in DevOps environment, we write many automation scripts. Python has got a very rich set of libraries for this scripting, right? Yes. And apart from this, one more major area where we see like Python is mostly used in big data environment, right? Today, if we see how the data is getting stored, KBs of data, MBs of data, GBs, after that terabytes, petabytes, exabytes, zettabytes, zettabytes, sottabytes, right? So should have seen KBs, MBs, GBs, or TBs. But today, like petabytes of data is getting generated. Examples of petabytes of data generation. Example like social media like Facebook, right? Has got millions and trillions of users throughout the world. In a minute, how many posts and videos are getting circulated? What should be the storage capacity of this, right? Yes. And not only Facebook, right? Today, if you take any application generating huge data, okay, observe, right? So in 1 minute, how many Facebook posts? Twitter tweets keeps on generating. Everyone, you're querying in the Google, right? Google queries. YouTube videos upload, right? What should be the storage capacity to store all the videos? Email or Gmail messages, right? To store all the messages, what should be the storage capacity? Bank transactions, telecom transactions, e-commerce transactions like Amazon and Flipkart transactions, right? Everywhere we see like huge data, right? For this huge data, right? We have got some big data technologies available, like Hadoop and Spark. In that Spark, a very high-speed processing technology, which is going to process huge data in quick time. It has got a huge boom in the today's market. So implementation goes in Python, right? We call it as PySpark. Spark with Python implementation, PySpark. And apart from this, right, where Python is used, scientific applications. In scientific applications, like we have got a module like CP, right? Scientific Python. And for numerical analysis, right? Yes. And we have got NumPy, numerical Python, right? We have got NumPy, numerical Python. Apart from this, for graphical user interface or for animations, graphical user interface or for animations, like we have got a TK Inter, right? And apart from this, for gaming or game development. For game development, right? Yes. For gaming or game development, right? Yes. We have got especially for developing games in Python, right? Python is providing separate frameworks like Pygame. A lot of games are getting developed using Python. For that separate framework like Pygame, PyCora, and some 3D rendering libraries like for 3D games like PySoy are provided, right? Yes. And apart from this, for scheduling tasks, yes, scheduling tasks, right? We have got Airflow for it, and for testing or for test cases, and for software development. Software developers make use of Python as a support language. Even for business application, Python is one of the best choice for developing e-commerce sites. One of the hottest application of Python, right? Database application. Without database, there is no web application, right? So Python can connect with any database like Oracle, MySQL, Postgres, all this, right? Performing different operations. Apart from this, Python is used for networking applications. For networking applications, as I said, separate framework itself, like Twisted Python, right? Twisted Python for networking applications, for network programming. Apart from this, for embedded applications, for embedded applications. Yes. Especially for embedded application, the most famous embedded application like Raspberry Pi, right, which uses Python for its computation, right? Apart from this, for even for civil environment like CAD or 3D CAD applications, right? Computer aided designing. And apart from this, for audio and video applications, and even for web scrapping data from different websites, harvesting data from different websites, that is extracting it from different sites, even for computer vision, for color detection, face detection, for object detection, right? And apart from this, for data analysis, Python is used, and even for robotics with Python, we have got the bigger packages available, right? The job packages. And for desktop applications creations, right? So in this way, if we keep on saying there are many applications, so Python is not for a particular purpose. Any kind of applications we can develop except one application. But there is a limitation of Python. It cannot develop. It's less used mobile applications. Python is very less used in mobile applications. Remaining all applications you can develop, right? So yes, in this way we keep on saying we have got many applications, right? And just I'll take 10 minutes more. Yes, who are using Python today? Who are using Python today? Right. Topmost applications, right, which are built using Python, right? Yes. Topmost applications which are built using Python, right? First, Google. Google is one of the best example, right? Google web crawling is first written in Java. It was too difficult. It was written in Python. And YouTube using Python for its video sharing service. Right. Yahoo using Python. Instagram is built using Python. The prime reason for Instagram to choose Python is Python practicality and hybrid features. Uber pricing algorithm is implemented using Python. Yes. So some other applications, right, like Quora, right, Reddit, Pinterest are developed by using Python. Even NASA using Python for its research and development activities, right? The popular OTT platform like Netflix using Python for its security automation for subscription related things, right? MMOG, massively multiplayer online games. MMOG, right? Massively multiplayer online games. Maya, a powerful 3D animations which uses Python script, right? Yes. And iRobot for military and commercial applications, right? And for BitTorrent using Python for its file sharing service. And companies like IBM, Seagate, Qualcomm, all this they use Python for hardware testing purpose. So in this way, there are many applications using Python to example some of those. So from the discussions what we had till now, right? So reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? Yes. Reason, right. Most of the programmers or developers are attracted towards Python, migrating towards Python because of its very less code. So people like a programming language which has got very less code, and the simple syntaxes. The syntaxes should be simple, right? If we talk about Linux shell script, okay, see that it will be very complex syntaxes, but Python syntaxes will be very simple. Just you can observe in the tomorrow session, right? Like coding wise, just I'll take some examples and show you. And multi-programming features, hybrid features, right? But all the programming features, all the other programming languages has got, even Python has got those. And one other important feature like Python has got, which you won't see in other programming languages, interactive mode. You can easily interact with Python statement by statement, and it gives response for every statement. Just like if you're messaging to your friend, getting response in the same way, you can message, right? You can write for every statement, Python gives response. For example, the bottom search panel, CMD, and then say enter, command prompt. Go to the command prompt, type Python if it is already installed. Python version it is displaying, and Python, this 3 arrow symbol, right? Python interpreter, any valid Python statements you can type here, right? Just I'm asking Python, what is 4 plus 5? What is 13 into 9? What is 23 into 47? And now see X as 10, Y as 5. No need to define the data types also here, directly providing the values. What is X? What is Y? What is X plus Y? What is X minus Y? X into Y. X by Y. X into 2, 10 into 2, X to the power of 10 square. This is the power symbol in Python. 10 square is 100. Yes. X equal to hello HELLO, right? X into 3 prints hello for 3 times. X into 5 prints hello for 5 times. Quit it, right? Yes. Yes, in this way, you can easily interact with this kind of interaction. You won't see in other programming language. Statement-wise interaction not possible. You write the entire code, create one dot Java file or dot C file and getting the output, right? But not statement-wise. Here also, like dot .py file you can create, or in that statement-wise you can interact. Wide varieties of applications. Just now I discussed about all the applications, right? Wide varieties of applications you can create. Wide varieties of applications you can create using Python, right? And many built-in libraries we see, right? Built-in modules, nearly 89,300 modules for different environments, right? So mainly these are the right, very less code, simple syntax, multi-programming features, interactive mode, wide varieties of application, many built-in modules, thousands of modules, right? Yes. Now I'll just open Google and show you, right? Yes, I'm just open Google, right? The most popular coding language. You see, the popular coding language, right? So can you see JavaScript, HTML, Python, SQL? All this will be discussed as part of this full stack course, right? All this will be discussed as part of this course. Python, HTML, JavaScript, SQL. So that is in as part of full stack. I'll be discussing even JavaScript, HTML, CSS, Python, SQL, right? So if you see more like so the most popular languages, the most popular programming languages, right? Yes, Python, Java, all this, right? Python is the mostly used. Next comes Java, JavaScript, and other programming. See the most popular programming languages used by top 25 unicorns, right? Yes, Python stands first. The most popular programming language used by top 25. Python stands first. Java, JavaScript. Just I have opened Google and showing you this one. Python remains the most popular programming language. Python, next comes Java, JavaScript. Observe, most popular programming languages. Python stands first. Next comes JavaScript, Java. Check here, right? And if you observe, most in demand programming language, most in demand programming language of 2022. Python stands first, means based on LinkedIn job postings in USA and Europe. Okay, Python, Java, JavaScript, right? Yes. You can see, right? Python, the usage of Python has increased a lot. Next comes Java, JavaScript. The programming language ranking most popular for the year 2021. So for, and here most popular coding language of 2021. So in Python, next comes Java, JavaScript. And if you see this ranking, Python is the number one ranked programming. Can you see this ranking wise? Rank one. Can you see? Rank, which is that Python is the number one ranked. Next comes Java, JavaScript. So Python is the number one rank. Next comes Java, JavaScript, all this one. Yes. Yeah. Python is the number one rank for programming, right? So what programming language you should learn, right? Check this. What programming language should you learn? Python, JavaScript. So 1 second. And if you see number of top 39 US computer science departments that use each language to teach introductory courses. Python mostly, next Java, MATLAB, C, C++, okay, all this, right? Okay. Series ranking, language rank. Python stands as the number one. Next comes the other programming languages, language rank. And if you see the usage of different programming languages in today's industry, right, which is mostly used in the percentage of usage of different programming language. Can you see this big graph? Big circle, Python 31%, Java 19%, C++, Ruby, JavaScript, all this, right? Yes. Next. Okay, even if you see ranking wise, ranking by average salary, Python stands first, next JavaScript, Java. And ranking by volume of job openings, Python, next SQL, Java, JavaScript, right? Fine. Python stands first in the volume of job openings, next SQL, next Java. Even Python, average salary, Python stands first in the average salary. Even if you see the job openings of Python jobs, you can check, right? Python jobs, lot of jobs for Python, Python developer jobs. 21,855 Python jobs in Hyderabad. Okay, you can see 17,000 Python jobs in Greater Hyderabad, 4277 are new. So in not only like Python, like even if you update with the, if you go further and update with the framework of Python, Django jobs, when you can see Django jobs, lot of jobs for Django, right? So 20,764 the Django job vacancies in March. People who knows the Django is very less. The Python framework. Django is what? Python framework. People might be knowing Python, but framework like Django framework, very less people knows Django. And the two who has got command is Django is very less, right? So at this point, there is less competition for the Django jobs, right? That's come. Okay. So you can update in the coming years, you see like much more competition for this, right? So as part of this course, I'll also discuss people who go for full stack Python. You'll also discuss the Django with, I'll also, you'll be doing applications creations parallelly, hands-on, right, along with me. Nearly like you'll be developing applications, nearly like 15 applications we're developing parallelly, right? Yes. And let's observe this course content, what will be discussed as part of this, right? You will see in brief, in depth, will be discussed Python basics, history, its applications, features, advantages, versions, installation, flavors, Python operations, Python modes, interactive mode, batch mode, editors, IDEs, data types, constants, variables, comments in Python, input output functions, type conversions, comments, escape sequences, strings, operators in Python, different types of operators, Python IDs, Python ID working with PyCharm, installing Anaconda, what is Conda, how to work with different IDs, integrated development environment, right? In real time, we use IDs. So I'll be showing you in working with different IDs, not on a single ID. Like I'll be showing you like 4 to 5 IDs, like PyCharm, Jupyter, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Anaconda distributions, flow control statements, like in basic Python, right? Looping statements, strings, string indexing, string slicing, string functions, string methods, string special characters, collections, list, tuple, sets, dictionaries, their functions, their methods, their addresses, list indexing, list slicing, list functions, list methods, list addresses, nested list modifications. Similarly for tuples, sets, dictionary, right? And functions in Python, different different arguments, default argument, non-default, keyword, non-keyword, different functions, lambda functions, reduce function, filter function, map functions, local, global, recursive, and modules in Python. What is a module? Different ways of importing, renaming, reloading, package in Python, errors and exceptions, and file handling, reading, writing, appending for different file operations, object-oriented programming concepts. Just have given the headings here, but everything will be discussed in brief. Encapsulation, abstraction, class, object, static, non-static, defining methods, constructors, destructors, garbage collector, right? Inheritance, types of inheritance, object class, polymorphism, overriding, method overriding, that's super statement, regular expressions, how to extract required data from the given data. So I'll be showing you different modules, some models related to data science, some models related to big data, some models related to databases, some related to regular expressions, some related to operating systems, some related to data and time, some related to graphics, and how to create our own modules. So regular expressions, database connectivity. I'll also show you how to install a one database and how to work with database operations, SQL operations, Python database connections, transaction management, error handling, datetime module, OS module, advanced concepts, iterator generators, closures, decorators, GUI programming, Excel workbook, working with Excel work with data analytics, introduction to data science, Python pandas, and Python NumPy, and Python matplotlib for plottings and visualizations. So in brief, in depth from the low level to the advanced level. So yes. Yes, so okay, these 30 topics for Python, people who go for Python core and Python advanced, right? So everything from the ground level to the advanced level, right? Step by step, you will be learning all this, right? So I said there is no prerequisites. Everyone from any background, if you're from people from the previous batches, from different backgrounds, even from pre-pharmacy background, they are attending the Python classes. Even if you know that even today Python is introduced even in the secondary school levels, right? That means that much simple the Python statements are, right? Apart from this, people who wants to go for Python full stack web development, right? Total full stack course. Total, apart from this Python, people who wants to go for, so Django framework will be discussed in brief. Why Django web frameworks, Django installations, Django product architecture, Django applications creations, Django views, Django templates, Django admin, Django models, Django advanced concepts, ORM, right? And apart from this, you'll be given knowledge on UI technologies also. So totally it computes of three courses here. One is Python, Django, and UI technologies. Means total it computes your full stack, right? Python UI technologies like HTML in brief, it will be discussed. Not overview, CSS in brief, JavaScript in brief, and a Bootstrap and MySQL, right? So here, if you see in Django framework, people who go for Django, right? Framework for web applications creations. You see the previous batches, right? For all the Django batches I discussed, all these are the folders. You see how the Django applications they have created parallelly along with me, right? So I said 15 to 20, but more than that. My project 1, 2, 3, see, more than my project 20 or 22. Yes. Okay. Yes. Fine. So, and 1 second. Observe. Right. So, see that duration, right? For Python, if you are updating Python advanced application oriented modules, and application oriented modules, nearly like 60, 70 hours, 70 hours will be spending nearly 2 months for it. It's an offer batch, just 5,000 is the course fee for it. Means for only Python, we are spending 70 hours, 2 months in brief, in depth with 30 topics, whatever I showed you in brief, in depth, right? Will be discussed, right? Apart from this, people who go for full stack, total Python framework also, full stack Python web development. For them, you will be given knowledge on web development, UI technologies, right? Web development, you will be given knowledge on web development, total full knowledge on this HTML, on CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap. Plus the Django framework, this Django framework is here, right? Django framework. The framework given by Python for interactive web applications creations. Here I'll be asking you, you'll be doing 15 applications, 15 to 20 applications you will be developing, you'll be creating so that you will get great command on this applications creations. Apart from this, you will have got REST APIs. Apart from this, a project will be discussed, right? For all this remaining, all this web development, Django framework, REST APIs and project, right? It takes 60 hours more, 2 months duration for this. And the fee structure for this is 7,000 for this. And totally 70 plus 60, 130 hours course, right? Total full stack, 2 months, two plus 2, 4 months duration. But if you doesn't want 4 months, if you want to complete in 2.5 months, right? Total Python, you can attend from Monday to Friday. The classes will be from Monday to Friday. And for this web development and Django, for these things, right? In the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, there will be some weekend sessions available where you can go parallelly. Can complete in 2.5 months, right? Means when you are updating with Python core programming, you'll be given knowledge on this web development, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap takes time, right? By the time you complete the Python core, this web development will be completed, right? When it comes to Django, your Python advanced half will be completed. Right? If it comes to the fee structure, right? If you are taking separately, it will be 5 plus 7. It's 12K. But if you're taking entire package at one with single payment, right? So fee is 10,000, right? For the entire all this Python, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, Django, REST APIs and project. Okay, so here it includes nearly 4 courses will be included in this 10,000, right? Python, web development, Django, REST API, right? Yes, and the offerings from my side, right? The offerings from my side. Yes. So you'll be getting the class video for all this. You'll be getting the class video session video for all this, right? Python, this nearly 70 to 80 sessions you'll be getting. For web development, for HTML, Django, all this you'll be getting videos, right? That day itself. You can go through the video. It's viewable. It's not downloadable. You can only view it, no? And a clear notes, a soft copy of the notes, right? Classroom notes. And assignments and tasks to work with. So you need to build your own code, right? Even not only just whatever I'm discussing. So you need to also work with some assignments and tasks and build your own code to get command on this. Okay. And also a WhatsApp group will be created for technical discussions. WhatsApp group also will be created for technical discussions, right? Fine. Okay, fine. So yes, and also apart from this, people who wants, I also deal with the big data analytics, right? Big data analytics. So there is a package for the big data, right? Where Hadoop, PySpark, Linux, and these 2 months of this Python course included. For this entire package will be 15K, including this Hadoop, PySpark, Linux, Python, right? So yes, it's Python 2 months, right? You can attend this same 9 p.m. batch Monday to Friday. And this Hadoop, PySpark, and Linux will be on weekends, right? So Hadoop, PySpark, and Linux will be dealt in the weekends, right? Yes, and Python will be, you can attend any of my Python morning or evening batch, right? Yes. Fine, this is what Python, right? A demo session. So just I was speaking most of the time today as it's a demo session, right? But normal regular session, right? So it will be like interactive sessions. You will be kept in unmuted status. Yes. Everyone, you can, you'll be responding for every statement I type, right? Yes. For every statement I type, you'll be responding, right? Any queries from your side, anyone, right? Tomorrow also you can attend the same time at 9 o'clock using the same link for more discussion, right? Tomorrow I'll be showing you people who especially work from non-programming, right? Uh, see how the Python code looks as compared with other programming, right? Yes. Yeah, any queries from your side? Yes. Timing will be the same timing, 9 p.m. IST timing. There won't be any change in the timing. Yes, yes. Abhishek Gupta, you can attend this session regularly, right? Yes. Okay. Yeah, any other queries, anyone? Yes, yes. With zero programming knowledge, without any programming knowledge, right? You can understand everything, right? So yes, you should be regular to the sessions. You should practice at least for 1 to 2 hours daily. It looks very simple, right? If you daily, if you're doing the practicals, next session will be very simple. Try to respond in the class, whether your answers are correct or wrong. Keep responding and live interactive sessions, right? Yes. Fine. Any other queries? Yeah, Sunil Kumar Devang, right? Yes. Zero programming language as said. There is no prerequisites for this. All the statements will be very simple. Tomorrow session, you understand, right? I'll show you some sample snippets of Python, right? You can check how simple they look, right? Yes. So, okay. If I'm done with your queries, if there are no other queries, then I'll sign off for now. Me too. You can ask your queries through voice also. You can unmute yourself and you can ask through voice or through chat. Yes. Yes.
So if we only need Python and PySpark, is there a separate like batch for PySpark?
Yeah, there is a PySpark both started in weekend, right? Last Saturday, Sunday, there was a demo session given, right? There was a demo conducted. This Saturday and Sunday, evening 4 p.m. evening, and Saturday and Sunday, right?
Okay.
There is a
Is there a, because
match
if
going.
if we don't need Hadoop because we have already covered Hadoop,
Yes.
if you just need PySpark, uh, I mean, do I have to wait for PySpark to start in the same batch, or is there like a separate weekend batch for PySpark?
You can attend PySpark parallelly, Python and PySpark.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Can go parallelly with this. Fine. Any other one? Okay, fine. So if there are no other queries, I'm signing off for now. Meet you tomorrow, same time using the same link. Thank you all for your time. Thank you. Bye.